A week from tonight, either the Patriots or Rams will be hoisting the Lombardi Trophy right here in Atlanta as champions of Super Bowl 53. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the start of our Super Week coverage leading up to the big game. Over the course of the next 7 days, we will take you behind the scenes here in the ATL, highlight how some Tennesseans are adding to the grand stage, relive some of the great memories in Super Bowl history, and of course we'll break down the matchup between the Patriots and Rams. And we begin with the team arrivals earlier today. The Patriots flying into Hartsfield International Airport around 4:30 Eastern Time this afternoon, touching down ahead of their third straight Super Bowl and ninth in the past 18 years.
You know, to get to this point is really exceptional. And, I'm proud of the guys for making the commitment. You have, one of the great opportunities in your life. And this is a memory you'll have forever. And I really hope, we can go out and take advantage of it.
A few hours later, shortly after 7, the Rams made it to Atlanta after about a 4-hour flight from L.A. It's the team's first Super Bowl appearance in 17 years and the first for a Los Angeles team since the Raiders in 1984.
Enjoy this opportunity, be smart, but let's not forget that we're here to try to win a football game. We want to have great focus and concentration when we are in those football things. Don't allow other things to take away from your focus, but you do want to enjoy it.
It's a busy week for the Pats and Rams, kicking off tomorrow night with Super Bowl opening night, formerly known as Media Day. Commissioner Roger Goodell gives his annual address Wednesday. Then the League Awards and Hall of Fame announcement are Saturday night, as is our special edition of Saturday Sports Central, previewing the big game at 6:30. Now, there is some controversy around this game after both teams won in overtime on Championship Sunday, especially centering around the Rams, who won in New Orleans after a no call on a blatant pass interference. Gave them the ball back, a chance to tie the game in regulation, and eventually win it in OT. The Rams went down to New Orleans and got the ball back after this pass interference went uncalled, giving Jared Goff and the Rams a chance to set up the game-tying field goal. And then after a Saints interception in overtime, Greg Zuerlein hit a record 57-yard field goal to win the NFC for L.A. The Patriots, meanwhile, survived near disaster at the end of regulation in Kansas City to hit a field goal to tie the game, and then won their third straight AFC title, scoring a touchdown on overtime's only possession. So it's the Rams and Pats. Those Saints fans surely want to make sure everybody this week in Atlanta understands they got jobbed. They even rent billboards on the way into town, showing their displeasure. JB? Mercedes-Benz Stadium, just a bit over a year old, built at the cost of $1.6 billion and home to Super Bowl 53. The last time the Super Bowl was here in Atlanta, 19 years ago, it was held just feet away at the then Georgia Dome, which is now a 13-acre park. Titans fans remember Super Bowl 34 very well. It was the only time their team has played on the NFL's biggest stage. It was a magical season, highlighted by Kevin Dyson's last-second touchdown to end their playoff opener. Known as the Music City Miracle, it was the moment the Titans were entrenched into the fabric of Nashville and Tennessee. At the start of the 1999 season, Tennessee's NFL franchise was officially renamed the Titans and moved into Adelphia Coliseum, a new home on the east bank of the Cumberland River.
It was a sense of relief, like we finally had a home, finally knew where our lockers were, and then to finally know what our identity was. I think that was when the community kind of bought in.
On opening Sunday, the Titans built a 26-7 lead on the Bengals behind 2 touchdown catches by first-round draft pick Kevin Dyson, but needed an Al Del Greco field goal in the final seconds to escape with a 1-point win.
We were close the previous 2-3 years before that, 8-8, 8-8, 8-8, and I think we kind of felt pretty early we were going to be pretty decent.
Tennessee started 6-1 after beating a St. Louis team dubbed as the greatest show on turf, and swept AFC Central champ Jacksonville twice on the way to a 13-3 season, earning the first playoff game in the city's history against the Bills on Wild Card Weekend.
To host it in your first year, going undefeated here at home, there's a sense of pressure that comes with that. Jeff Fisher, he always preached, win at home. You want to defend your home.
The Titans jumped ahead 12-0, but had to retake the lead on a Del Greco field goal with under 2 minutes to go. Rob Johnson drove the Bills to an answer. Steve Christie's 41-yard field goal gave Buffalo a 16-15 lead with just 16 seconds left, setting the stage for one of the most famous plays in NFL history.
We're discussing our last 3 or 4 plays we're going to run, try to get in field goal position. And then my name was called. I was like, why they call my name? And said they were trying to explain the play to me. Essentially, I was supposed to just kind of be a reserve guy.
With Derek Mason out with a concussion and Anthony Dorsett Jr. cramping, Titans special teams coach Alan Lowry turned to Dyson for a play he called home run throwback.
Do the Titans have a miracle left in them in what has been a magical season to this point?
They say, hey, they're going to squib it to Frank. He's going to run to the opposite side of the field. He's going to throw it back to lateral it to Isaac. You get in a relationship with him. He gets in trouble. He's going to pitch to you. You get what you can, get out of bounds. That's what is being relayed to me as I'm running out on the field.
Except the play didn't begin as planned when the Bills kicked off high and short into the arms of Lorenzo Neal. The number 1 lateral option, Isaac Byrd, got knocked out of the play.
Come to find out, Lorenzo Neal ordained that. He spoke that into existence. He told Frank, he said, they're going to kick it to me. I'm going to catch it. I'm going to give it to you. I'm going to block for you.
He throws it across the field to Dyson. He's got something.
It was a brief moment. We thought, okay, I can get out of bounds now. How much time's left? And then when I saw him went down, I was like, oh, I'm going to score.
There are no flags on the field. It's a miracle. Tennessee has pulled a miracle.
Buffalo players were mocking us and our crowd, and that's one of the reasons why I ran back to the other side of the field. Just kind of put it back into their face a little bit.
The play had worked, but the Titans couldn't celebrate to win just yet. The replay booth buzzed down to referee Phil Luckett to see if Frank Wycheck's throw to Dyson was indeed a lateral.
I felt like it was slightly backwards if you look at the flight of the football. I think people get to looking at the body position and not the flight of the actual football. The actual flight of the football, per the rule, is a lateral. I get credit because I scored. They did all the work, essentially. I don't know if it ever worked like that again.
The Music City Miracle propelled the Titans into the divisional round in Indianapolis, feeling like a team of destiny. Eddie George ran them past Peyton Manning and the Colts, and then they beat Jacksonville for a 3rd time to win the AFC Championship.
You go even to the Colts game, the big run by Eddie. We kept having these moments up until we got to Jacksonville and just kind of dominated that game. We felt like a team of destiny, like this was our moment.
Next came a rematch with the Rams in Super Bowl 34. With the Titans trailing by 7 in the final seconds, Dyson would once again be called upon on the game's decisive play.
It is caught by Dyson. Can he get in?
I remember thinking, he's not going to be able to make this tackle.
No, he cannot.
He's even said, my momentum helped him when he left his feet to get his body around, to get a left hand on my knee so I couldn't extend. And he was just as unsure as I was whether or not I got in or not. But then, of course, when you start seeing the blue and gold confetti, you realize very quickly you didn't.
And the Rams have won the Super Bowl.
As a kid, the clock is ticking 5, 4, and you take the shot, and you do those type of things. So you get in these moments. You're in the biggest game of your life, the Super Bowl. You got the ball in your hand. You like to believe you're going to be successful. And for me, in a lot of respects, that was the first time I hadn't been successful. And so for me to be short, it took me a long time to get over that.
No one epitomized Tennessee's playoff run more than Dyson, who personally experienced the highest of highs and an ultimate low in the span of 3 weeks. 2 moments that will be remembered in NFL history forever.
I have both portraits in my home represented, both moments. I think I learned a lot more from coming up short than I did even the Music City Miracle. That motivated me. I never did get that ring, but I played in 2 Super Bowls, and there's a lot of people that drafted before me, around my time and after me, that have never been there. So it's a special moment.
Dyson told me that even though the Titans came up 1 yard short in that Super Bowl, that team still resonates with fans today, and says every day he still has someone come up to him and give him their perspective for where they were during the Music City Miracle, including one young man named Dyson, named after the player and the play. John, it was a legendary team and certainly an unforgettable moment. John, from the sunshine and laid-back practices of Orlando to the spotlight and pressure of the Super Bowl here in Atlanta, this is the goal for every NFL team and player. That includes Taylor Lewan and the Titans, who fell short of the playoffs despite a third straight winning season. Lewan did his part, earning a third straight selection to the Pro Bowl, taking another step towards his ultimate goal of being the best left tackle in the league.
Every single year you do your best to play the best you can for the team and obviously for yourself as well too. So it's been cool, man. I really don't take the time to really enjoy the successes of individual accolades, but being here, seeing guys like that are the best in the league and being to be a part of that is really special.
The excitement of the invitation still the same?
Yeah, it definitely was. I think this year I was least stressed about it than I was in years past, but like I said, it's really cool, and I'm super stoked just to be a part of something so special. It's just a fun time. I think the cool thing about this is like you meet all these guys on the field, obviously, but egos are flaring. You guys are both there trying to win a game and stuff like that, so it's never really like genuine who they are. And so you meet these guys and people that maybe I wasn't a fan of before, and I see now in a different light, and they probably feel the same way about me in some ways too.
I remember a couple of years ago you said you were really looking forward to being next to Joe Thomas and
Right.
picking his brain a bit while down here. Now that you're one of the veteran Pro Bowlers, do you still do that? Trade secrets and such?
We were talking today about the moves that we don't like the most. I think the Chargers coach is going over with some stuff with me that I'm really going to take and use in the future. So more than anything, it's a fun time to get around guys that do it the best. But to be able to talk a little bit about techniques and stuff like that's a good little move.
Now that you're about a month removed from it, first season under Mike Vrabel, another winning season, but not the playoffs, which I know was the goal.
Right.
How do you step back and evaluate the year that you just had as a team?
As a team, there's ups and downs. I think it's easy to see it when that right at the end, we know what kind of team we were, and it was a team of inconsistency, and so that's what we need to work on the year. We have to be better winners and bad losers. And so when we win games, we got to make sure we stay level and stay on the path that got us there, and not go in and have situations like Buffalo or Ravens or something like that. And so every season there's so much to learn from. I think we got a great coaching staff, and those guys are going to get us in the right place, and the sky's the limit with this coaching staff.
Arthur Smith promoted to offensive coordinator on Monday. You immediately hopped on Twitter showing your support. What do you think that move can do for this offense?
I think it's going to be huge, man. That guy has worked his ass off. I think he's been there for 7-8 years, and he started as like a GA type of job and worked his way up the tight ends, and now he's the OC. A lot of people are going to be like, who is this guy? They don't know much about him. I think I saw something on Twitter like he doesn't even have a Wikipedia page, but it's
His
true.
dad's more famous than he is.
Yeah, but I think that the best thing about Arthur is he's self-made. That's something that no one else can take away from him, which is unbelievable. He knows the player personnel better than anybody because he's been around it for so long. So he's going to know the strengths and weaknesses of us, and he's going to take the stuff that he likes from other offenses and along with the offense we played last year, and he's going to adapt it, and I think we're going to be in good hands.
I asked Lewan if a hard-nosed guy like Smith might favor a physical, run-first offense like we saw the Titans utilize to great success during the month of December, and if that then might be a preview for what we'll see in 2019. Lewan replied simply, new offensive coordinator means a new offense. So check back with me on that one. We are just getting started on our check-ins from Atlanta. Our Super Week coverage continues tomorrow and runs all week through Super Bowl 53.